Hurricanes Bussi emerges as an unlikely star, and how might a Hughes trade have looked? Raleigh, North Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes are atop the Eastern Conference after 3 shootout wins in 4 days, 1 over Washington and 2 over Philadelphia. That success wouldn't have been a surprise given the expectations to start the season, but the fact that Carolina has done it without Jacob Slavin and with a waiver wire pickup leading the team in net makes the season's first 32 games impressive. Perhaps the best news for the Hurricanes came on Sunday, when defenseman Jacob Slavin was activated from injured reserve and returned to the lineup. It was a busy week for Carolina, and here's the latest. Get on the bus. Brandon Bussi has become the most unlikely of stars. The 27-year-old goalie, claimed off waivers by the Hurricanes from Florida as an insurance policy when Carolina tried to assign Caden Primo to the AHL to start the season, set an NHL record on Thursday by earning his 10th win in his 11th appearance. Bussi also saved 24 of 26 shots on Sunday in the shootout victory. His unprecedented start has him in rare company. According to StatHead, http://statheater.com, only 42 goalies in history have played in at least 11 NHL games after not making their debut until they were at least 27 years old. Most fizzled out quickly, while a few, such as Aaron Dell and Carter Hutton, built respectable careers as NHL journeymen. 9 of the 42 reached 100 wins in their career, but the careers of many of that list are not comparable to Bussi's path for a few reasons. Wayne Stevenson didn't get his chance until 1972, when the NHL was rapidly expanding. He primarily played for the Canadian national team before getting his shot. Richard Brodeur jumped to the NHL in 1979-80 after 165 wins with the WHA's Nordiques. Europeans Niklas Bäckström, Roman Sechmanek, Cristobal Huet and Martin Gerber proved themselves overseas before getting a chance in the NHL. Johan Hedberg, for my money, one of the most reliable number 2 goalies of this century, reached the NHL 7 seasons after being drafted, finishing with nearly 400 regular season and playoff games with 5 NHL teams. As Bussi's legend has grown, the name that's most come to my mind is Tim Thomas. The 2-time Vezina Trophy winner and recipient of the Conn Smythe Trophy, when the Bruins won their last Stanley Cup championship in 2011, is the model for late-blooming goalies. Though drafted by the Nordiques in 1994, Thomas, with the exception of 4 games with Boston in 2002 to 2003, bounced between the minors and Sweden for nearly a decade before he got his chance, finishing his career with 5 seasons of 28 or more wins. The better example might be Dwayne Rollason. Both he and Bussi went undrafted and had strong NCAA careers. Rollason spent 2 full seasons in the AHL before making his NHL debut at 27 years, 1 month and 1 day. Bussi played 3 AHL seasons and finally got his first game on October 14, at 27 years, 3 months and 19 days. Rollason, however, had a losing record in each of his first 5 NHL campaigns before finishing his career at age 42 with more than 600 career games, 227 career wins and 520-win seasons. Let's be clear, that's a long way from a goalie who hasn't yet played a baker's dozen of games. But Bussi has made the best possible impressions on the NHL, Hurricanes fans and, most importantly, Carolina's front office. While Bussi is not eligible to sign a contract extension until January 1, there is optimism a new deal can be worked out between the team and its unexpected star goalie. A nice find. 2. That's how many of the Hurricanes' 7th-round picks since relocation have played more NHL games than rookie defenseman Joe Nystrom. Frederik Andersen, with 531 games, has the most, though his circumstances are unique. While Andersen was selected by Carolina in 2010, he opted to re-enter the draft and was picked by Anaheim in the 3rd round in 2012. The other is Steven Lorentz, who was chosen 186 in 2015 in his second time through the draft. He has played 335 games, along with Kelly Cup, Calder Cup and Stanley Cup rings. 8th-round picks Yaroslav Svoboda and Nicklas Nordgren played 134 and 58 NHL games, respectively, and 1997 9th-round pick Ken McDonald played 32. Nystrom, in his first full season in North America, impressed the Hurricanes coaching staff enough during training camp that when defensemen started dropping at the start of the season, he earned a recall ahead of several more experienced options. Nystrom got assigned to the AHL on Sunday, when Slovin was reactivated, and he had 0 goals and 5 assists in 23 games with the Hurricanes, but he already has a new deal. Carolina signed a 23-year-old Swede to a 4-year extension on Friday that will pay him a total of $4.9 million. The contract is reminiscent of the one given to goaltender Pyotr Kochetkov in November 2022. Kochetkov, fresh from Russia and the KHL, was pressed into action at the end of the 2021-22 season, winning all 3 of his late April starts and playing in 4 playoff games. Kochetkov then went 2-0-2 in the middle of November 2022 before being rewarded with a 4-year, $8 million contract. While there's an argument that both players could have bet on themselves to potentially get more money, there is a big carrot in both deals. Like Kochetkov, whose contract ends following the 2026-27 season, Nystrom will be an unrestricted free agent in the summer of 2030, after his second deal expires. It's a low-risk bet for Carolina that also gives Nystrom a chance to cash in at the end of the contract. Furthermore, if Nystrom can't crack the Hurricanes lineup during the deal, bearing his $1.225 million cap hit in the minors would have no cap implications. Teams are allowed to stash $375,000 more than the NHL minimum salary, which will go up from $775,000 to $850,000 next season when Nystrom's contract kicks in. That's $1.225 million, exactly the cap value of Nystrom's deal. That means none of Nystrom's cap hit would cost against Carolina's cap hit should he be in the AHL. That makes the only real risk the cash paid to Nystrom, with the potential of it being a considerable bargain should he become a regular. It could also have implications for Jalen Chatfield, a fellow right-handed defenseman whose contract is up after the 2026-27 season, when he'll be 31. Hurricanes make AHL coaching change. The Hurricanes made a coaching change with their AHL affiliate Friday, dismissing Cam Abbott as coach of the Chicago Wolves and naming assistant Spiros Anastas as interim coach. The move came as a bit of a surprise seeing that the Wolves were 11-7-3 and in a playoff position, but Carolina has been considering the move for a while. While the on-ice results have been fine under Abbott, who led the team to the playoffs in his first season last year, a 2-game exit in the first round courtesy of Rockford, clearly there were concerns about the direction of the team. Before being hired for the Wolves job, Abbott had 6 years of experience in the Swedish Hockey League, leading Rögle BK to its first Champions League title in 2021-22. The Ontario native played collegiately at Cornell and had brief stints in low-level North American leagues before playing 6 seasons in Sweden and then transitioning to coaching. The decision to relieve Abbott of his coaching duties wasn't made hastily. The Hurricanes tried to make the situation work over the past 2 seasons. But it became clear to the organization that a change was needed. Anastas, who has coached internationally and in both the AHL and ECHL, is expected to serve as interim coach for the rest of the season. He won the Calder Cup as an assistant with Grand Rapids in 2013 and also twice served as a head coach in the ECHL. Abbott, whose twin brother, Chris, is the Hurricanes' vice president of pro player personnel, will remain with the organization. Hughes Hall for Canucks. Friday's biggest news was the trade of Vancouver star defenseman Quinn Hughes to the Wild in a blockbuster swap. Minnesota gave up young center Marco Rossi, emerging defenseman Zeev Byam, first-round pick winger Liam Ogren, and the Wild's 2026 first-round pick to get the eldest Hughes brother.